What's up, guys? We are here at Rywire today. We're going to give you guys a shop tour. We're going to do a behind the scenes with Ryan on their day-to-day operations and check out all the cool shit they got. So let's go inside and say what's up to Ryan. Yo. What's up, Ryan, dude? How you doing, man?
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, bro.
Of course.
Appreciate you making the time for us.
Yeah, come in, dude. This is
The
spot.
thing is, just walking through the entrance already, I was like, wow. Amazing.
I decided to make it feel like homely because I have to spend a lot of hours here every day, right? You know when you're at like a spot that you want to move out of, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're like, what could be the perfect? What's the dream? I'm like, I just want to make it like a living room.
Dude, this is a beautiful, beautiful space, man.
Thank you.
You can see a garage out here too, the warehouse.
Yep.
He's got a lot of crazy cars. You guys already know that, but we'll touch on that later. But did you design all this or?
Yeah, actually, what we did was we took this wall is like, it was 2 bathrooms. I was like, I only need 1 bathroom. So we have a storage closet, and then this wall was here. But everything else was built out. We just tore it all down to nothing, left this structure, and then built off of that.
Dude.
I was really inspired with mid-century architecture, if you can't already kind of see that vibe. But I like that like glass corner look, the cantilevered kind of feel. And that was something that I thought was kind of critical with it. I was like, dude, I have to have glass. It's got to be like sprawling, you know, floor to ceiling, if you will.
Feels so open.
Yeah. And then I like there's little like architectural touches. Like if you're standing where the camera guy is right there, and then you look, you see that vertical window, how you can kind of spot some of the cars through that window.
Yeah.
But then it carries its way up into there's an upstairs office.
Dude. Yeah.
Right? And then so that window lines up with that window, lines up with another window out the other side. We added that second level, did all glass. I was like, that's critical, dude. I have to have tons of glass, right?
So nice.
This desk was really cool. I built this with some friends.
Yeah.
We just used metal structures, welded them together, and then had like a top company come in and do the SPO marble.
Okay.
And then this was actually from my house. I had extra of this like siding, and I thought the wood looked really cool. So
dude,
it's just little cut pieces, but I made it look pretty good. Kind of flows together with slatted wood look and like wood, and it's got to feel like homey, right?
Yeah. Dude, hey, this guy does more than just cars, man. You guys can sell it. So all the orders go through here. You guys process it.
Yep.
And then it gets shipped out.
Yeah, me and Dur touch it. It gets shipped out, and to you guys, like,
man,
the quickness. And we call this the wiring room. It's where like we develop stuff. And Ryan Dur's in here working right now, and he's
What up, Ryan?
adjusting some stuff, building some stuff.
This was the dream harness right here, man. Everybody wanted, man.
Of course.
Everybody still wants it, actually.
I normally sit like on this side. Dur sits on this side. I give him the good view because I'm not in here as much.
Yeah.
I'm more like on the couch, and I'll go back there for a few minutes or whatever. And then we're just setting up wiring looms.
Do you guys do a lot of custom stuff, or
we do a lot of custom stuff in this room.
Okay.
And then we do a lot of like adjustments and stuff like that in this room, and just development and R&D and stuff like that.
Tell us a little bit about this area and what got you to do all this.
All right, so at my house I have a little spot where I can like see my car, and it's really neat. And I was like, well, the shop's gotta have the same thing, right? So this was all kind of into the same design. Like I wanted to have glass so you could see a feature vehicle.
Yeah.
So something that I wanted to like show off, look at, everybody can enjoy from their desks and be able to like see the cars. And then I was like, I would really want to do like a light box or something, but they're super expensive. So I just went with like kind of more budget route and just gave like a halo light just to get some lighting in this area. But this is kind of like the display feature zone. And like I said, like I CAD'd this entire thing. And me and my wife built out everything on CAD to figure out how we wanted it all to lay out.
And like that?
Yeah, so it was like, everything was very, if you look at it, everything was deliberate. So you could see that these bend pack lifts were actually in my CAD drawing. I got the CAD data put in the bend pack lifts. I put that post in, like all the little pony wall, everything was in the drawings. And if you notice, even the back wall two-tone is a bend pack color. So there's just a lot of things that were like thought out. And the crazy thing is, like, this is just only the beginning. I want to do more with it. I want to add a little bit more wood and windows and stuff back here, but we're playing the long game.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to happen right away. So
yeah, dude, no,
it's just organic growth.
Beautiful, right? And so do you use these for just like your storage for your cars?
Yeah, I mean, more or less, like, because I was able to really pack in 6 cars in an area that, like, you know, it could have kind of just been dead space. It doubles as storage for my cars, and then also a good place to just, you know, have parking and etc. So we do bring in a car or two every now and then, and just like for development and, you know, for R&D purposes. And that can be done on these service lifts. Cars are always cycling around, and I'm always moving things around, getting stuff done.
Oh yeah. And in this area right here, is this your engine build room, or?
I guess you could call it that. Maybe.
I see a swap in here, and I see like, you know, presses and all that stuff.
I definitely, like, my very limited amount of fab, you know, I can bend and press and cut. So that's nice. It's like cool to actually have the machines like laid out. I aspire to do more with it, but like I said, it's all just like baby steps.
For sure.
I got like some EV like R&D stuff in those boxes, and you know.
Hey, this looks cool.
Yeah.
What's the story behind the steps?
So original plan was to have cantilevered floating steps going up that wall, right?
Okay.
But we needed a really big hole, and then it was just like all these different factors, and I ended up just calling an audible on it, and I said, you know what? Let's just do a spiral. So I went out, there's a company that did these spiral staircases. You could put in all your dimensions and they'll give you like all the things. And I was like, this is probably the best fit for the space, because I didn't want to like take up all that room that those stairs and everything would take up.
Cool.
We have storage upstairs on that open deck, and then I have, like I said, an office in that room, and then there's storage back in there.
Let's walk up these crazy.
Don't look at my skirt, okay?
I can't help myself, bro.
All right, so this is just a bunch of
damn.
wiring spools. Yeah, these are all terminals, so like we just use these.
Yeah, I can see it, dude.
Yep.
Crazy.
So these are all to build wiring harnesses. And then over here we have just like a whole run of, these are all plastic connectors. So when we build the looms, I got to put bags together. So it'll be like, you know, I need a big bag of them, right? What I do is I actually have a spot in LA, and they build the looms like in masses for me. It's all per my design. We design everything, and then they're like a manufacturing wiring house. So I have them pick up big old bags of these connectors, and then they'll build like 100 of the part number at a time. They'll bring it back, and then I'm very creative with it, so we can adjust things to have it be different, and then me and Dur do that, and that's how we get it done. This is obviously still needs some renovations. I need to add some stuff. I just got like, watch your head there. Well, you don't need to. I don't need to, but yeah, this is just an office that will be an office one day. I got a little mini split right here, and then I have like storage stuff.
And you wanted this, you mentioned something about podcast room, right?
Yeah, like
this supposed to be something like that?
So the walls are all insulated with that rock wool stuff, like the really dense wool insulation.
Gotcha.
So that's why I didn't put like a window right here. I don't know, one day I might say, you know what, I don't really want like this backdrop. I kind of want glass.
Yeah.
I could easily probably just like add a window to that. But I think like the kind of goal was to have a camera set up, and then a couch, and then just a little like podcast, chill, talk, and just have it be just, you know, us on camera.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Dude, man, this is the dream garage right here, guys. Man, super clean. I noticed like every time I come here, there's like no oil. It's like there's not things everywhere. It's just very organized.
I try.
I can tell by the way you just run your harnesses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like us being Doghouse, like, you know, we love Hondas. You know, I know you're a Honda guy. Why Hondas? What, you know, intrigues you about Hondas and the tuning of that?
Okay, so it's where I organically started.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I was interested in the Volkswagen Corrado, because you're talking like, you know, early 90s cars, right?
Yeah.
So VW Corrado, Toyota MR2, Honda CRX. Those were like my three cars that I was interested in, right? So the CRX was probably I think it was the cheapest, easiest to get one. And I ended up going that route, and then I saw that there was this thing called a B16, and my uncle was in the Hondas.
Yeah.
So and my whole family was actually in the Hondas. But my uncle was like, you could do a B16 swap in your CRX. I'm like, really? So then I learned that. And that's what really kickstarted it. And then I saw that those engines have VTEC, all these amazing, like very early genius designs.
Okay.
And because of that, it kind of just got me like locked in. And it's just always been Hondas. Maybe like 10 years ago or so, I kind of deviated a little bit and like took an interest in 911s. And like, they're cool.
Yeah.
They drive, honestly, like that RS drives fucking circles around any Honda that you could, you know?
Exactly.
But it's also a different price point, right? I think like for the money, Civic on track with a K20R is probably like the holy grail of a track car.
Dude,
and
just, hell yeah.
It's like the perfect performance level for the money, you know?
Yeah.
Like a $10,000 to $20,000 engine on a $10,000 car, you build a sub $50,000 track car, or even just a really cool street car, and you can't go wrong with it. It's so much fun to drive. So
dude,
that hasn't changed. Like, there's not all of a sudden this like newer technology or something crazy that has changed the dynamics of engines. So I think it's still like the best you could buy.
You guys heard it here, man. Ryan right here, bringing it down, dude. He has an RS and a bunch of Hondas. Still thinks the Hondas is the shit.
Yeah, they are, dude.
So let's check out this thing. This thing's really special. I saw you putting it together. I was here to check it out. We talked. This is your daily driver.
Yeah, it's actually been my daily driver for about 10 years now. And the engine started getting old. Like, even when I got it, dude, like this car was kind of a wreck. I bought it for like $3,500. Super cheap, but it was
2000.
Yeah, but it was like, it slid over a curb, bunch of like bent parts and stuff, but nothing that was too like, it wasn't a total loss. You know? So I fixed it up, fixed everything that was broken, and then I just drove it for like 10 years. And the engine just started getting leaky. And I was just like, keeps leaking everywhere, and I'm just like kind of sick of dealing with it. It had 220,000 miles. It's honestly strong. There's nothing wrong with it. But this car is owed a rebuild. So all those little things that I've always kind of wanted to do, wheel and tire package, suspension package, hard top, like all those little details, but I need to do something about the engine. So I thought about like a K swap. I actually have a K24 in the back, and I'm like planning on using that. I was like, I really want a turbo. And then I was like, well, there's a good solution for that, and that's the K20C.
Let's check it out.
So
you pop the hood?
We can check it out. So yeah, I basically just went through the whole car and then did the swap.
Sick.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this
it looks factory.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it is it's like very like stock looking. And I really don't care to like dress it up with any colors. Or one drawback of like the visual impact of these K20C engines is they have some plastic parts.
Gotcha.
But for me, for a daily driver, I think it's fine, you know, because the performance is there. So this is running Science of Speed kit, their intercooler kit. They have kits for the intake manifold to like flip it around the other direction. They have an adapter plate for the S2K gearbox, so it's still S2K gearbox. So the shifting is the exact same way still. You know, arguably the best part of the S2000 is the shifter transmission. So it still retains that, so that's pretty cool.
Dude, it's beautiful, man.
But
this was like the dream S2000 from right here with this swap.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's on E85. It's still direct injection. It's on a Motec ECU. It's a brand new crate engine. So that's like the best part of it, is that now I'm back to 0 miles.
So question for you. So now that, you know, I mean, you've always had combustion and you have the EVs now.
Yeah.
What is it for you? What do you like more?
They're different, and I like them both a lot, actually. The EV is awesome to drive. It's like instant power. So like for street use, you kind of can't beat an EV, you know? But this has a really small turbo on it, so it spools up right away. And it makes cool sounds. So it's like there's an argument for both, you know? And like now that I've built a bunch of EV cars with clients, I've designed systems. The main reason why I got in the EV was because it was intriguing for me and I got bored with stuff. Like everybody's always, just K series, B series. It's the same old every day. I've been doing this for over 20 years. We deal with harnesses and clients every single day. They're doing K and everything, B and everything. I was like, you know what could I do that's a little different? For this, it's like, let's mess with direct injection. Let's mess with electronic actuators on the turbos. Let's mess with drive-by-wire. There's all these like cool things that this engine can bring to the table. Same thing with EV. It's completely different. It's really heavy in programming. You got to be a freaking computer nerd to figure out most of this stuff, right? So people that bash it, I think is really, really, really ignorant, because it's actually very, very, very cool in its own way. It's instant power. What's the only thing you're really losing? You're losing some sound. But EV motors have a little bit of noise. Yeah, it's very subtle. But like this car doesn't even have an exhaust on it. It's factory exhaust.
Yeah.
And I like it like that. I don't. This is my daily driver. I don't want noise. I don't want it to sound like. You hear the turbo. You hear the blow off valve. You hear it. All that cool sounds. Yeah. But you don't hear just like the.
I agree, man. I mean, seeing the red one and the white EG, the red EK, for someone like me, where do I even start if I wanted to go EV? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, man, big ups to you for figuring all that out. I know there's a bunch of videos that you guys did on it.
Where I go really in depth, right?
Yeah, where you go really in depth. So if you guys want to check out Ryan's videos, where can they watch the video?
Let's see. There's Larry Chen has a video that's like really in depth on the white EG. Like really in depth. That one did quite well. You can find that on YouTube probably really easily. Big Mike did a nice video on both of the cars, I think separately, I want to say.
Okay.
On my YouTube channel, there's a little bit of stuff like early on. Dude, just type in like Rywire and EV.
Exactly. You guys can check that out, man. Ryan gets super detailed with his builds. What got you into doing like electrical and like all that?
Really, really early on, I was, remember I was saying about the B16 swap?
Yeah.
So I realized that when I did the B16 swap, like we kept it OBD0, the old school style, you need to add 4 wires. So that's what, those 4 wires got me into wiring. I was like, how do I add these 4 wires? Where do they need to go? So then I started organically with that. And then I was like, oh, I could make something. I go to the junkyard and cut off plugs.
Yeah.
And then I was making these wiring looms and selling them on eBay, right? That was when I first started. Then it was like, I want to go OBD1. That was like crazy to go OBD1, change all the electronics to the 92, 95. Okay. And then I made a wiring harness for that. And then I opened up a little web store on my little website that shows you how to do a B16 swap. And then it was like, I can sell you a wiring harness, send me these parts. And I did like 1 a day, dude, for like 2-3 years. Like 1 or 2 a day.
That's crazy.
And then so instead of college, and I was fucking, I'm like in college and I'm supposed to be studying.
Yeah.
I'm just building wiring looms. I'm like,
that is so dope, dude.
I'm making $300 or whatever to do a loom. And I do a couple a day. And I was like, whoa, I'm like, this is like way better than, like, how much do you make when you get out of college? How much am I making right now?
Yeah.
And then so that sort of just kind of turned.
Damn, man, that's awesome. That's a dope story. Hell yeah. All right, man. Ryan, what we got here, man?
All right, so this is probably foreign to a lot of people. I haven't seen this before, but this is my EG, and this one has a single motor in the front, Tesla Model S drive unit. Basically, it's all AEM parts, all my custom work, and it's about 300 horsepower, like 350 foot-pounds of torque. At 65 miles an hour, you just hit the gas and it just spins the tires. So infinite torque, super quick for the streets, tons of fun to drive. And
AC,
creature comfort. It's got heater, it's got electric brakes, got all this cool shit.
You know what I love about this car too? Yeah, the EV stuff's cool, but he's got the JDM headlights, corners.
Yeah.
Kept this super OEM outside, TE37s. What kind of brakes you got? The spoon brakes? That's so sick, man. I love how you build your cars, man.
Same.
Style and everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it to 100%,
Yeah.
Like Nitron suspension on all the cars. Like I make sure that I have the upper tier stuff. Like you said, like these are like the glass house. These are actually the EDM.
Oh, it's with the glass.
Yeah, I made sure that like nothing is short, you know what I mean?
When you put the cars together, are you thinking of like building it for like SEMA or for yourself, or like how does it
so here's the thing.
Yeah.
I gotta have it business-minded focus.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of these cars, I'm not gonna lie, like I do what I can as far as tax write-offs and stuff like that. Like I have to make it like doable, right? So like I got an opportunity, for example, Ravi from CSF is like one of my best friends, and he's like, dude, build another car, let's do another one. Like I want you to have it for the CSF booth for SEMA. I'm like, cool. So the red one, I was like working on it for 2 years to get it ready for SEMA. Well, this car, I was like, people keep asking me for a kit, and I'm like, well, that red car's not a kit. That's dual motor. It's all crazy, right? This one's more simple. if you could believe that. But and I was like, so I got to build another car, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, got started getting hit up like, hey, you know, are you interested? And then Toyo Tires was like, seemed like they were interested. I'm like, hey, if I could bring it in the tread pass, like I'll do it. So that's when this car got full exterior respray, and like that's when it got like leveled up to that next little step. Yeah. Because I was gonna kind of like drive this one more on the street. I mean, my daily's obviously that blue S2K, but this one I was like gonna drive like a lot, pretty often. Now I'm probably gonna drive it a little bit less, but it's still getting used. But it turned beautiful because I had the opportunity to show both of them at SEMA.
Seriously, yeah.
So I try to incorporate that if I can.
You said this might be a kit? Or
it actually is a kit.
It is a kit. Dude, so someone can buy the kit, put this motor in it.
100%,
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, we have it on our website. It's quite expensive because nothing's cheap when it comes to EV stuff right now in the space. It's like very expensive. So it might be kind of priced out of a lot of people's budgets, but at the same time, it's there. If people want aspects of the kit, you could definitely get it to them.
And I know you just got it, like, what is it, California legal, right?
Right.
You can drive it in California. Was that process pretty long, or was it easy? Like
that process was so easy, dude.
So easy?
Yeah. Like I thought it was gonna be a bit more difficult, and it actually has been more difficult before. But I just went to the what is it called, the DMV in Costa Mesa down the street. Like I just drove it over there. Yeah. And then I parked up in the lineup. Homeboy said, "Pop your hood. What are you here for?" I said, "For it's gonna go. I want that E on my car. I want it electric." Yeah. And he goes, "So it's full EV?" I'm like, "Yeah, full EV. It's not hybrid." He's like, "Okay." Literally looked at the motor for 1.5 seconds, and then his eyes directly went over to the VIN number. Looked at the right there. So VIN number. He looks at it. He's like, "It's hard to read." I'm like, "Yeah, you want me to read it off to you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, that looks right." And he goes, "Oh, your door jamb. Okay, that looks right." And then he's like, can you key on and verify the mileage and whatever? I'm like, "It's a digital dash." He's like, "Okay, whatever." Like, get the F out of my face, and just gave it to me. And I'm like,
best get the F out of your face you've ever heard.
I'm like, cool. He didn't like, and then
I'm out.
And then I just drove away, and I was thinking, what if I like turned as a brrr and then drove away?
That would be good.
I got the E. Anyway, yeah, it was very easy. Went to the DMV. So now I got the little red sticker. It's got to go to Sacramento. Sacramento is going to probably just take their sweet ass time. It'll take 3 months probably. And then I should get registration in the mail. And then I won't have to smog it at all. So, and then if I do get pulled over, it'll be on the title that it's an E, it's electric. And then they could treat it, they're not, I mean, they could get me for, I don't know, too low or no front plate or
just like a little fixing ticket. But
easy fixing ticket. But I'm not going to have any problems with smog, quote unquote.
That's the best part. How soon can someone purchase the kit?
I mean, like pretty much right now. I'm redesigning the mount kit right now.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be a hold up for probably like 3 months.
So they can pre-order.
But yeah, I have like one full of everything in stock. So in theory, I could start shipping it.
All right, Ryan. Well, appreciate you taking us around the shop, showing us around, and giving us behind the scenes on your daily operations, showing us some of your cars. If you guys want to follow Ryan, what's your @ and all that?
My Instagram is Rywire_motorsport. YouTube, it's Rywire, but I don't post a lot, but I still have some cool videos up. I have the whole build on the S2000, so if you're interested in that, check that out.
Yeah. You got a lot of cool stuff on YouTube, so yeah, definitely check them out. And yeah, we appreciate you out there.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming.
Always good times. All right. Hey, if you guys want to check out more shops, drop in the comments below what places you guys want us to go to, and we'll try our best to give you guys a tour.